10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello. I haven't done a geek chat on a Saturday night in like 3 weeks. What's up? It's been a while. I've been busy on Saturdays, man.
Yeah.
It happened.
We got Vulcan here, Vulcan Rebel, Anthony Roberts, Tomcat, Leadlace, JR, L762, and Ever So Numb. Hello, everybody.
What's up, ladies?
Samuel Tucker. He said
Hello.
nice hats, but we're all wearing hats, so I don't know who he said so.
I don't know. Well, JB's doesn't say anything. At least ours has something on it.
Yeah.
Yours is American flag, and his is NCIS. My wife's favorite show.
I got to get one for my daughter. In fact, I think we're going to get her one for this Christmas. Says, I don't know, your NCIS hat reminds me of that, but Criminal Minds. She's obsessed with that show. My 15-year-old is obsessed with Criminal Minds. And she just watches that show all the fucking time, to the point, and seriously, this is not a joke. She is taking college level and AP classes to be a forensics, not just a technician, but like the full, like, she's going to college and prepping now in college to be like the full blown, like, get her, I don't know, what fucking doctorate or whatever in forensics. Science or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, but she's like prepping for that now in high school to go to college to do all that. That is how much she wants to be like a forensic technician and do all this shit. And I'm like, okay. She is now but she's at the point where she's like, she's got to figure out which classes to take. Does she want to go the office route or the field route? She wanted to be like work at the fucking building, like doing all the science side of it, or does she want to get into the field side of it? But she's taking classes to do both. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with the class, because why not? Anyway. Man, I got a lot of movies to talk about today, except for one that we talked about last night that I was supposed to watch today that I didn't. So we'll have to save that for next time. But yeah, I haven't.
I watched it, but I watched it today, and it's really good. So.
It's good. It looked good. The trailer looked good. I haven't watched it yet. We're talking about the new Hellboy movie that came out.
It's a smaller story, and I like that.
Yeah.
And not everything needs to be the world's going to end.
Yeah. I want to watch it.
That is the Marvel problem right now.
Yeah.
Every movie, even if it's like a street level character, the world is going to end.
Yeah. The world doesn't need to end 37 times a year.
I'm gonna be straight up honest. I have not yet watched Joker 2. My wife and I were going to do a double feature. We're going to watch both back to back tomorrow, and then I remember, oh wait, we're supposed to talk about Joker 2 tonight, so I forgot to watch that today.
That's okay, because let's talk about it now, because I'm going to save you 2 hours and 20 something minutes of your life that you will never get back, and you will regret never getting that back. Joker 2 is ass. It is absolute positive ass. So let me give you the breakdown. The first half of the movie is the Joker in prison getting ready to go to his trial for the stuff he did in the first part of the movie, or in the first movie. The second half of the movie is kind of a courtroom drama about what he did in the first movie. And in the meantime, he meets Harley Quinn in the very beginning, like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, who is obsessed with him and tells him all this stuff about all the bad things she's done to end up in the same place as him. They're in Arkham. They're not really in prison, but they're in Arkham. And And sporadically, it's about half, like literally half the movie's a musical. So if you don't like musicals, like I don't, that right there is a turnoff. Second, he doesn't like get to go out and be the Joker in the first half of the movie. He's just, until he meets her, he's very depressed and doesn't say anything and not acting like the Joker at all. You know, we saw him become a person in the first movie, and then the second movie starts, and he's, even at the beginning of it, he's not that person anymore. He's just like the quiet guy in prison that doesn't talk to anybody. He's just Arthur Fleck. And then in the second half of the movie, when in the courtroom drama aspect of it, after he starts to kind of become Joker again, because Harley Quinn's like fucking told him how great he is and everything, he also finds out that she's lied to him about everything, about who she is, about how she ended up in Arkham and all that stuff. And so by the end of the movie and throughout the second half of the movie, the courtroom drama aspect of it, he basically like rescinds everything about the Joker and doesn't want to be the Joker anymore and hates who the Joker was and admits he always was Arthur Fleck and he's just crazy. And then in the final scene, a fan of the Joker just stabs him and kills him in Arkham Asylum. And basically what this movie is a repudiation on the fans of the first movie. There is no other way to look at it. It is basically saying, hey, fans of the first movie, did you like his character? Fuck you for everything you liked and everything you liked about the first movie. You're stupid. Go fuck yourself. That's what this movie was. That's what this movie was. It was not a sequel to the Joker. I don't know what this steaming pile of shit was, but that's certainly not what it was. And it was awful. It was fucking awful.
Yes, we did talk about Aaron Perry from Rebel Ridge being cast as Jon Stewart. We talked about that last night in the Toy Talk about the casting of Lanterns.
I really like that casting. I've only seen that dude in about 3 things, but I like him. I think he's a good actor, and I think he will make a great Jon Stewart. Again, if the story's good, because
I was impressed he can do a non-French accent, because I never watched Rebel Ridge, and so I just saw like just some interview clips with him. I was like, man, this dude has a thick French accent.
Yes, well, I've heard him play American, French, and British, and he sounds like any of them that you watch. You're like, oh, that must be his native accent. I'll be honest, I don't know what his fucking native accent is, but
French.
It is French. Okay, see. But he does good at all 3 of them, and I think he's a good choice for Jon Stewart. We did talk last night, because who gives a shit about Joker? Seriously, don't watch it. So we're done with that conversation. It's fucking awful.
Oh wait, what was the lie Harley said? What was the lie?
She said that her father was dead, that she killed her mother, that she was treated like shit, and they were poor and all this stuff. Turns out none of that's true. Her father and mother are both still alive. She didn't kill either one of them, and she's from a very rich family, and she made it all up to Joker to make him feel like she was a poor person put upon like he was, and then he found out that she was just full of shit completely. She just wanted to meet the Joker because she needed some excitement in her fucking life as a spoiled little rich girl. She made up this whole other persona to impress him. No. And she only cared about the Joker. She didn't care about Arthur Fleck at all. And it was a whole fucking thing.
Okay. My wife
he is nothing like Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn only.
Well, it's Lady Gaga. What do you expect?
Oh, and the idiots are already doing like the strawman arguments, like, see, the incels are going to blame Lady Gaga, the movie being bad. No, the movie's bad because they wrote a bad movie.
Yeah. No, Lady Gaga I don't have a problem with Lady Gaga. I mean, I don't listen to her music.
We've already started that whole narrative, like, bullshit.
Yeah. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's you just completely changed the fucking point of the first movie and the character from the first movie. You erased all the character development from the first movie. You know what I mean? Like, you just completely erased it. And it's fucking awful. But
it's like they say, a great actor can be in a terrible movie if the writing is not good.
Yes.
We were talking about Brandon Routh, how he was a perfect casting for Superman, and the movie let him down because of the writing.
Yeah. And that movie was ass, and it had nothing to do with Brandon Routh. I think he was a fantastic choice for Superman. I think he was great. I think he could have been in a truly great movie. He could have been the best Superman we had ever seen.
All that blame goes on to Bryan Singer.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Bryan Singer made a stupid decision to make a sequel to the Donner cut Superman 2.
And I think Bryan Singer was the wrong person to make the movie, period.
Yes.
Honestly. I do not think Bryan Singer is a good director. I think he got extremely lucky with Usual Suspects, if I'm honest. I think that X-Men 1 was good, not because of Bryan Singer. I think X-Men 2 was even better than the first one, not because of Bryan Singer. Because he had nothing to do with the writing and all that shit. Yeah, I don't think Bryan Singer is a particularly good director. I don't think he ever has been. But anyway, I digress. Let's go back to Lanterns here, since we did briefly. We're just skipping all over the fucking place at this point. Who gives a shit? Yes, I think Aaron Pierre being cast as Jon Stewart is awesome. The issue I have is Kyle Chandler being cast as Hal Jordan. And it's not that I think that Kyle Chandler is a bad actor. I think he's actually a good actor. However, I do not see him at all as Hal Jordan. Like, at all. I've never seen him play a role like Hal Jordan.
He's too damn old.
Yeah, he is. And I get they wanted to be like, oh, well, we're going to have Hal Jordan be older. Okay, cool. This dude's in his mid-50s.
Why not have Alan Scott if you want an old Green Lantern?
Yeah, if you wanted to go that route. I told you guys this on last night's chat. When they announced the short list, which included Kyle Chandler and a handful of other people who were up for the role of Green Lantern, one of the names was Chris Pine. And I thought Chris Pine would have been fucking perfect. He's in his mid-40s. Okay, cool. It's a perfect age if you want an older Hal Jordan. He looks like Hal Jordan. I've seen him play roles that evoke a Hal Jordan character. I think he would have been perfect. Out of the short list of people I saw, which was like him, I also saw that on the short list was Matthew McConaughey, and I was like, no, sorry.
He's going to be 60 years old when this films.
Yeah, no. Kyle Chandler is to me just not a good choice. That is not to say he's not a good actor, and maybe he will do a great job. I don't know.
I
know for sure he doesn't have the
that series he had back in the 90s, the early edition.
Oh yeah, no, that was actually really good. Yeah,
that was a cool concept of the show too. Like,
I mean, and I do know one thing: he does not have the physical presence of Hal Jordan at all. No. The dude is not a tall guy.
Actually, he's 6 foot.
He is?
Yep.
I think John.
I'm surprised that too. I just looked him up. It's like, holy crap, he's 6 foot. I thought he was shorter than that.
He comes across. He's gonna need. And how do you do it in your late 50s? I don't know, but like he's gonna need to bulk the fuck up.
If I'm gonna be honest, they're gonna make Hal Jordan a mentor, and Jon Stewart's gonna be the main Green Lantern of the DC universe.
Well, that's all they already said.
Yeah,
which I don't mind, but I just want an accurate Hal Jordan. I don't mind if that's the case.
I think that Jon Stewart is getting a lot more attention than Hal is these days, and Hal, like I remember
in the comics, no.
Well,
yeah, not in the comics. And look, I like Jon Stewart. I think Jon Stewart's a great Green Lantern. He's not my favorite Green Lantern. My favorite Green Lantern always will be Guy Gardner. But
my favorite is Kyle.
Kyle's a great Green Lantern too.
I don't know, it might be a conspiracy, I might be wrong, but I feel like ever since Ryan Reynolds did that Green Lantern movie, they have tried to stay away from Hal Jordan as much as possible and give Jon Stewart the limelight. I don't know if that's true, but I noticed Jon Stewart.
Snyder just didn't really have a good plan whatsoever. So
that's true.
There was no Green Lantern except for in the Flashback.
look, let's be honest. Snyder's only plan was, I want to make a really cool Superman movie. And I think he did that. And then I think he should have been allowed to make a second Superman movie instead of having the entire DC universe thrown on him that he was not ready for, that he had not planned out at all.
Batman v Superman was a stupid idea.
Yes.
Even though Ben Affleck's Batman was great.
I do think Ben Affleck did a great job as Batman for
he's the first one to actually be a physical intimidating Batman.
Have the physical presence,
But
no, I remember when they did the Tomorrowverse, they did a Green Lantern movie starring Jon Stewart, and Hal Jordan ended up being parallax. So they killed him with just an arrow.
And that movie sucked ass.
That was an awful movie. All that movie was a precursor to Crisis.
Yes.
That's all that movie was.
Yes.
But it was an awful.
The Hal Jordan animate movies after they did like the Ryan Reynolds movie, those were all great. The All Stars, Hal Jordan, and they were fantastic movies. The first one right after should have been the plot of the first live action movie.
We were talking about that last night, yeah.
Well, that's why we're talking about it differently, because this is actually the stream we talk about the movies.
I know.
You don't have to bring it up. We brought it up last night.
I'm trying to get people to watch our stream from last night. It's always good to let people
Well,
watch
they're here now, so let's focus on them now.
But no, I we'll see. I mean, maybe it'll be good. I hope it's good. I want it to be good. I want every comic book thing to be good. I always do. I always want it to be good. I don't have.
They broke me. I expect them all to be shit if they're like halfway decent.
I expect them to be shit, but I want them to be good.
I don't have the want anymore. That's like,
I do, because I still want good comic book movies, and I still, when one comes out, like Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm like, awesome,
Unless you start getting people that care more about entertaining, like Ryan Reynolds involved, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, and who knows about James Gunn? I mean, at this point, like I'm a 50-50 James Gunn fan. Like half the stuff he has done, I like. The other half, I don't. So I don't really have a stake in him. Like I like the Guardians movies. I think those were great. I love one of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah, completely overhaul the Guardians only worked because nobody really knows the Guardians that well.
Yeah, but like
some of his other stuff, movie, but I also watched the movies like this is nothing what Guardians of the Galaxy actually is.
No, but I like some of his other stuff. One of my favorite horror movies of all time is Slither. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Oh, I love Slither.
I love Slither. I like about half of what James Gunn has put out, so I think he can make a good movie. And I think,
but he's got some questionable like casting stuff going on, though.
Oh yeah, dude. Like look, I will say that his casting for if you're not going to do Henry Cavill, which obviously they weren't, I think his casting for Superman was good. And I say that because I've seen that dude in a couple of different things over the last 5 years, and I at one point even told my wife, that dude looks like he could play Superman.
Well, they got Costco Cavill, so they can actually cheaper.
Well, I've seen the dude before in other things. He was in a Netflix show that I watched. He was in he's been in several Netflix things. He was in a Netflix movie that I watched, a Netflix show that I watched, and I've seen him in like one other thing as well. And every time I've seen him, I'm like, the dude looks like he's trying to be Superman. I bet the dude, I'm like, he looks kind of like Superman. I remember even telling my wife that one time. I was like, this dude looks like he could play Superman. He would just need to bulk up because he usually was pretty slim. So I think it was good casting. If you're not going to go with Henry Cavill, fine, whatever. I think it's good casting. I think and I do like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I think that's good casting. I like what's her face from Marvelous Miss Maisel as Lois. I think that's good casting. Everything else I have seen, all his secondary characters that are apparently going to pop up in this movie that I've seen, those all seem horrible.
Yes.
His main three seem great. I like it. I'm a big fan of Nicholas Hoult. I think he's a great actor. I think if the story's done right, I think he could make a phenomenal Lex Luthor.
Yep.
So I think the main three that he cast as the main three of the movie, I have no problem with whatsoever. Everybody else he's cast, I'm like, what the fuck?
And they're introducing like new, recently introduced characters in it too, like the engineer. It's like, who?
Yeah. Well, just like completely miscasting fucking Nathan Fillion too.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion is the perfect Hal Jordan.
Dude, if you wanted to do an older, like in his 50s, Nathan or Hal Jordan, you get Nathan Fillion to do it.
Yes.
He would have made a great like mid 50s fucking Hal Jordan. That's who you fucking get. You got the dude right there. He's literally done the voice. He's literally played the character. And have him be Guy Gardner? There's some weird choices.
It's one of the things too. Like when they did Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan, I always like, man, Ryan Reynolds would have been perfect for Gardner.
Uh-huh.
With his attitude, with his personality type character, like would have been perfect for Guy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see. I hope the movie's going to be good. I'm going to go see it, and I hope I enjoy it. However, the stuff I have seen from behind the scenes so far makes me question that. But we'll see. I'll give it a chance. I'll give any comic book movie a chance. Jesus Christ, I gave Madam Web a chance. I watched that steaming pile of shit.
Jonathan Kent just does not work. Have you seen who they cast Jonathan Kent?
Who did they cast? I don't remember.
Pruitt Taylor Vince. Once you see him, you'll know exactly what it is. Here, I can present screen.
Here, yeah, pull up a screen share.
Is that the right one? Not now. Hold on. Let me turn off all the windows so this thing doesn't get confused. The StreamYard won't tell me names of windows when I try to share. There we go. This is.
Oh yeah, the dude from Identity. I actually like that dude. That's a weird choice for Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, I like the dude, but he's a horrible casting for Jonathan Kent. That does not say old farmhand.
Yeah. That's weird. That's really weird.
Yep. Of course, he's always got to put his brother in something.
And yeah, well, who's he playing? Who's his brother playing?
Maxwell Lord, a very important villain.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know.
This weird looking dude is perfect for Metamorpho because he's always Metamorpho looks weird.
I sent you guys a very interesting post that was on earlier today. It's about the Superman Lois show.
So Tyler Hoechlin post.
Yeah,
I like that dude as Superman. I like that show.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I just linked it to both of y'all. So
yeah, I like that show. I like I said, and we talked about it briefly last night. It like, you know, every few episodes has the duck into the like CW. Let's do an episode all about personal character drama. You know, and you're just like, but in general, if you get rid of those episodes, like the show itself and the casting, I think is good. I enjoy that show, so I'm glad it's actually getting finished and not just canceled.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh, he's bulked up for the Mr. Chris.
It's kind of sad though that the actors who played Clark's brother, John Henry, and his daughter, they will not be a mainstay in the show this season.
Oh, they're not?
No, they're gonna finish up their stories in this next episode apparently because of budget cuts.
Oh, what are they going back to their fucking universe?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
no.
I heard most of their stuff had to be cut and couldn't come back due to them needing to do budget cuts. So
okay. Well, I mean that's cool, and you know, I think they did a good job with John Henry Irons. I think they was good casting, and I like the suit and everything. But like, there to me, that's that's not an important part. I don't need. If it's like, hey, this is the last season of Superman, we need to cut these characters because we need to focus on Superman and Lois. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I will have to say, what's going on with wardrobe? Everybody looks like they're wearing their dad's clothes when they're a little kid.
Yeah,
this dude's he got jacked for this role. And they got him in like the baggiest damn clothes.
Yeah.
Isn't he the one that played that character in X-Men who could not die?
Yeah. That did die somehow.
That didn't make that still never made sense. Like, how can somebody
it does not make any sense at all.
Yeah.
The whole point of his character and his mutant power in that movie is that he can't die.
Yeah.
And yet they killed him.
And then in the comics he's unkillable as like top character.
Adapt to this. Okay, that should have been his response. Okay,
like, why is Nathan Fillion Guy Gardner?
Yeah, it's a weird choice.
The reason why they casted him as Guy Gardner is because Nathan Fillion can be funny, and James like, oh, we got to have a Green Lantern who's funny, so we'll cast Nathan Fillion, who I worked with in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I can see it be the only reason why he cast him as Guy Gardner.
I think that. Well, I mean, the reason he cast Nathan Fillion is because of Slither. That's the first time he worked with him. But I get the feeling that James Gunn is one of these people that brings a lot of people. He's very loyal to people he's worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't feel he respects them. I feel like he's loyal and likes Nathan Fillion because he's worked with him before, but I never feel like any of the other roles that he's done in Guardians or giving him Guy Gardner means that he actually respected him. Because if he did, he would have given him something better.
Everything they've done, his roles in the Guardians movies has been slapstick and like disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. And look, you click on David. Look who it is, Christopher Reeve. The OG.
No.
So,
by the way, have y'all seen that
he's gotten big too for the role.
Yeah. Did y'all see the Christopher Reeve documentary? We had a question about that last night's stream about did we watch the documentary for Christopher Reeve?
I haven't watched it. No, I don't know where it's available yet.
I'd have to find, or maybe Jared can find. He's got his computer screen up.
No, I'm not looking for it.
Okay. No, he was in Twisters. Just what else he was in. I was trying to mention that you were naming off what he was in, which scene him in. I'm like, he's in Twisters.
Oh, that dude? Yeah. He's in Twisters. He doesn't have a big role in Twisters, but yeah, he was in Twisters.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see.
They got to change that wig though. He's wearing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the James Gunn DCU, but
that wig.
I hope all my doubts are wrong, and I go watch just a great fucking movie.
That's what I hope. Weird choice. Like, the engineer is basically a New 52 character from Storm when they Wildstorm brought over from Wildstorm.
I mean, but isn't James Gunn's doing Superman's costume based off Rebirth?
No,
it's not really based on anything. That's aspects of different stuff. I feel like here's the thing, and maybe when we watch the movie, what we will find is that all these characters that are in the movie that have a really like weird off. Like, why are you doing all this stuff? Just a real quick little cameos to be like, hey, here's a hint, here's a hint, here's a hint, because we're doing more. Because I don't like it when, and DC's done this ever since Marvel got popular in the movies, right? DC's been trying to just cram a fucking universe down everybody's throats. And this was this was the problem with Batman v Superman, which was, we have to throw in as much shit as possible into this movie to show this is a connected universe. No, just do a good Superman story. That's all you have to do. Do a good Superman
You
story.
can start with Superman, have other people start crossing over, then do spin-offs after that, and then build from that.
Yeah, like you really just need to do a good Superman story. So and I will say, because James Gunn has done this with all 3 Guardians movies, and I thought he did it very well. Which was
You know what these outfits
he
remember?
threw a lot of cameos and little hints and drops to other stuff in the cosmic Marvel universe in those 3 movies, but never lost sight of the focus of those 3 movies. So maybe that's what he's doing here. I don't know. But I mean, if you go through the Guardians movies and think how many fucking characters from the overall cosmic Marvel universe showed up in those movies, it was a fuck ton.
I was going to say
he had fuck tons of cameos, whether it's Howard the Duck or Cosmo or fucking, like, he had just a ton of shit crammed into those 3 movies from so much of the Marvel universe. So maybe that's all he's doing here. Because he was pretty good at that in those 3 movies of like, hey, we're throwing a bunch of shit at this, but we're still hyper focused on the story of our main characters. So maybe that's all it is. Maybe Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific are only in like a scene. Which, okay, fine. If it's just like a scene, whatever, and it's not going to detract from the story, and maybe the engineer's just in a scene, and maybe all these other characters are just in a scene, and it's just little cameo stuff to fucking just kind of give fans little bits of fan service while we go and take care of the main story. I'll be okay with that.
Is Matt's screen broken? He's going on a tirade.
What?
Jared was saying something about the suits.
No, he's fine. Let him go.
I know.
Don't interrupt him while he's talking.
Okay.
I don't interrupt when he's talking.
I was wanting your opinion, though. You were saying something about the suits, Jared.
I was just saying the suit reminds me of Marty McFly Jr. Without pressing like the auto fit function on the suits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I do. The only thing I like about that suit is that it has the yellow belt and the trunks, and I do like the logo. I think it's a cool logo. Other than that, I don't like anything about that suit.
Me, I was like, I'm not really a fan of using the Kingdom Come logo.
Well, I mean, I like that I like that it's a twist on the Kingdom Come logo, but just with the traditional colors. I'm fine with that. The suit, those 2 aspects, bringing the trunks back.
I can understand this too. It makes it look more.
I hate the collar.
Please don't let them say, "Oh, this means hope." No, it's the crest of the House of L. It don't mean hope.
But no, I will say I would like to see David wear much more classic
house sigil.
But I mean, it is what it is. Like y'all said, it's a mix of a modern aesthetic and classic. It's kind of like
it's got a new 52 vibe to the suit with the techie with all the lines.
Yeah, with the line work and the collar, which I hate the collar, dude. I hate the collar. Get rid of the fucking collar. The collar looks.
It's like modernizing a classic costume, kind of like what they did with the Masterverse, where this is classic Man-at-Arms, but they gave him some modern aesthetic to it.
Yeah,
in a way. But I mean, I think he might get another suit, probably. Maybe he will at the end of the movie.
The lighter blue kind of looks odd too with a modern aesthetic.
Yeah. I mean, maybe in the end of the movie,
if it's a more classic-looking Superman suit, the color would make more sense. But with it being a more modern suit, they don't do this color in the comics anymore.
Yeah. By the way, I do just want to mention something, because I have heard this before. Technically, in Man of Steel, that symbol was the crest of the House of L. He just explained it to Lois as it means hope. He didn't explain that it was the crest of the House of L. It was implied that the crest of the House of L means hope. And that's how he explained it to her, instead of going through the whole story of what that symbol meant. And why the crest of the House of L means hope, which goes more into who the House of L was and how they were hope for the Kryptonian people. he just like cut the story short to explain to Lois. It means hope where I'm from.
Jen's got the best comment.
It was still the crest of the House of L.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Sith for life. You got a channel member chat.
Oh, Sith for life. Thank you, sir. I think I can read this one. My eyes are getting better. I watched Superman in theaters. It's really good. I want to see it. I hope it comes to somewhere because it's not playing in theaters anywhere near me. So I'm gonna have to wait till I can stream it somewhere. By the way, people are wondering. I was getting a fucking thing. If anybody's ever had a migraine, you know what I'm talking about, where you like see lights and shit. And so I was having problems reading stuff, which is why Jared's been reading the chat for me.
Yeah.
It's starting to die down and go away, so I could actually read that shit. But
Jen's got the best comment though. He said, "It means hope now. Hope that the movie does not fail as hard as the last one."
No shit. You know, I hope it does. I always want good Superman movies, man. I always want good Superman.
I do. For Superman, though, I always like the open collar. The high collar is the New 52 thing, and
yeah,
they dropped that for a reason.
Stupid, even in the comics.
Yes,
and I get too. We need to get it that James Gunn's doing this to be different from everybody else who's done Superman costumes in the past. That's why he's trying to mix different elements of costumes together so he can make his own thing.
I will sit here right now and say that I think the best Superman costume that we've ever had was Superman Returns. That awful fucking movie had a great costume. It was a great modern take with modern materials that looked so much better on the old Chris Reeves suit.
Shit, though, the emblem looked like shit. It was
the what?
The sigil, the emblem, the House of L, it looked like shit on the costume. It's too small.
Oh yeah, it was too small. But I'm just saying the overall look of the costume, the cut of the costume, the fit of the costume, and everything. It was a great looking costume. And like I like Henry Cavill's costume a lot too. However, it was a little overdone and techie and shit like that.
The one thing I will say,
if that S had been bigger,
yeah,
that's a great costume. That's a great costume.
The one thing I will say that was so silly about the costume, they put the symbol at the bottom of his feet. They put his S symbol at the bottom of his boots.
Yeah. But look at that. That's a great Superman costume.
Mm-hmm. Look, little much though. House of L here, House of L here, and you said he's on the boots too.
Oh, it's on the bottom of the boots. Yeah. Like
if you brighten the red up, make it look less like a Speedo, make the S shield bigger. Then yes.
Do you know what?
Look at that. That's how a Superman costume should fit. Now show a picture of the new one.
Do you know what this suit reminds me of though? The Page Punchers mold that McFarlane's been using. Yeah,
look at that shit. Compared to the other one.
The back, like Marty McFly forgot to hit auto fit.
Yeah. Awful. I think Kowloon. Okay, I'm going to read this one.
And
what is Superman's uniform made of? Those are almost as indestructible as the Man of Steel himself. So originally in the comics, it was made from his mother made it from the blankets that he was wrapped up in his ship that brought him to Earth, which is kind of why they explained why the costume never got messed up. Eventually,
they changed.
Eventually, they got rid of that, and his costume got tore up all the fucking time, and he would just get a new one.
There's actually an explanation to that why his costume don't get destroyed. In post-crisis, the Kryptonians' powers were adjusted, where they have a subconscious telekinetic field around their bodies, which extends around. It also explains how he can pick a car up by the bumper. He's extending that field up by when he touches the car, and when he's like flying with Lois, lets her like holds her hand, and she's flying around, and she just don't drop.
Yeah,
he's extending a telekinetic field. That's with the Superboy clone from the 90s. That's the only power he got. That was the telekinesis. That's how one of the parts of flying. So that's how they explain it. It only explains to when it's an unconsciousness where it's only around this. It's always around his body. That's why the cape will get tattered up more than his actual suit. You are able to pierce that if you're strong enough. Like Doomsday was able to punch through it.
Yeah. Oh, Sith for Life's right. Best live action Superman costume is also Brandon Rouse, but his Kingdom Come costume. Yeah, the Kingdom Come costume was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they put the yellow back on at the end of the episode when he did the whole Christopher Reeve smile at the camera flying. I thought it was great. I get why though. I get why they had Lex Luthor come in and take over Superman's place in the final battle, because Oliver was supposed to
suck.
Yeah. Oliver was supposed to die. We know that. He was supposed to die. That was his end, which then again, nobody dies because he came back in the final season of The Flash. But
Well, he
still,
was basically the Spectre. I mean, that's what he was.
if you have, and basically, I was talking to my wife about this the other day when we watched it. I said, the reason why they had Superman get out and have Lex take over is because if Superman was there, the fight would have been over with quickly and Oliver would have not died. There's a good chance. And plus, too, they've got too much of a budget and they don't want to put too much budget in Brandon Routh Superman.
Yeah.
So, it sucks, though.
Yeah,
I do wish.
That is a great look.
I wish we at least got the scene of him saving those people, but I get the impact of us not showing it and him just saying it. But still a great costume. So there it is, edited with the changes made, which basically I looked at the end.
All right, time to move on because I got more movies to talk about here. Jared, I watched Killer's Game.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was fucking great.
Yep.
That movie was so much fun. It was just a good, fun action movie. For anybody that doesn't know, this is the last Dave Bautista movie before he slimmed down.
It's basically his last action movie.
Yeah, and he's an assassin that finds love and wants to quit. But I'm not going to give all the spoilers away. But anyway, it was just pure fun. That's all it was. Just pure, good, fun action. Highly recommend checking it out for anybody that hasn't seen it. Yeah. It's on the website. That's where I saw it. It's on the website in HD. And me and my wife had so much fun watching that movie.
Both him and the lady that plays Mantis are in it.
Yeah. Yep. She's in it. She's the bad guy, basically, in the movie. And
the fake Mandarin.
The what?
Trevor, the fake Mandarin.
Oh yeah, yep, he's in it. And Sophia Patella's in it. And anyway, it's got a ton of people in it that you know, and it's just about an assassin. The short of it is, it's an assassin getting hunted by a bunch of other assassins. Who gives a shit what the story's about? It's an action movie. It's fucking great. I loved the shit out of it. It is not like some high-end fucking movie that's going to be like, this is, you know what I mean? But as an action movie, it was just pure fun.
It's a good throwback action movie.
Yes.
The movie we watched this week was The Lottery. That movie was
I keep wanting to click on comments like the name of Hilltop, tactile telekinesis. That's what the Superboy's powers are.
Yeah. You're talking about The Lottery, the one with Aquafina and John Cena?
Yeah. I never watched that one.
Dude, that was a good movie. I liked that movie.
My wife.
I watched the newest. I'm caught up through the most recent episodes of Vox Machina.
I watched it, and I said, and we looked at each other, and I hardly ever hear her say this. When we was over with, she said, "That's 2 hours of my life I'm never getting back."
Oh, your wife's wrong. Bring her in here.
She didn't like it. Now
I thought it was a good, fun, dumb comedy.
I started to watch that Snyder.
She can do
Viking
movies,
God movie series.
The only parts that she liked, and we both agreed it. We said the only best parts of it was John Cena. Everybody else, it was just way too dumb for at least for her. It was too dumb.
Okay. Come on. The premise is Los Angeles has a fucking lottery where people get to try and kill you for 12 hours. The whole premise is dumb.
I know.
What are you expecting out of it?
Hey, you're talking to a person who loves drama movies and shows. I mean, she's more of a rom-com in a way.
Now,
Yeah,
I tried
it's
to
a
watch
dumb
this-
premise with dumb
Yeah.
characters, and it was funny.
There were some parts in it that were kind of like,
I tried watching the Twilight of the Gods. Zack Snyder.
ooh,
I watched the first episode and I was bored.
you were?
Yep. Then I got to the
Uh.
second episode when the dude was screwing the lady, and then it pans out and the dude's butt fucking him. I was like, I'm done.
But
What?
When the dude's screwing the blonde woman, and he's getting butt screwed by a dude at the same time, I was like, I'm done.
But
I was bored. I was already bored from the whole thing too, and it's
Dude, it's such a good show.
But no, I was enjoying it. But there are like elements in the movie where it just drags out a little bit, where it just draws out just a little too long for my taste, especially some of the jokes, like with Machine Gun Kelly and stuff like that. But I enjoyed it, but she didn't, except John Cena's parts. So, I
The
don't know.
Machine Gun Kelly door scene was fucking hilarious.
It was funny, but I wouldn't call it hilarious. It's kind of movie. I get what you're saying. It's a dumb movie, so it's like one that you turn off your brain and just enjoy. The problem is she had her brain turned on and not turned off. So,
Wow. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched that new was it HBO movie for Salem's Lot. You know, they redid Salem's Lot again. And I think it was HBO Max. It was pretty good. It's a little condensed. I've actually read the Salem's Lot and Jerusalem's Lot. I've read both books, both Stephen King books. I say books, they're novellas. And so the story is a little condensed to fit in a like an hour and 50-minute movie. But overall pretty good. Like, it's a good vampire movie. It you know, I think that if you really want to get into Salem's Lot, it needs to be more than a 2-hour movie, because I think there's just way more story in it than that. I would rather see like a mini series, or maybe even like a 10-episode season of television, because there's more. They had to like, you know, to get it in a 2-hour movie, they had to gloss over a lot of details. And which maybe for most people, if you've never read the book, like, you don't give a shit, and that's fine. I still liked it. It was enjoyable. It was good. It was a good vampire movie. Had some cool scenes in it. It was directed and shot really well. Like, they did really good with the vampire scenes and making it feel scary and suspenseful and stuff like that. So it was well done. It's just, if you've read the book, you're going to notice there's lots of stuff missing. Like, you're like, oh, what? If you haven't read the book, you probably won't give a shit. And you'll just be like, oh, that was a cool vampire movie. It's not fantastic or anything. It's not one of the greatest vampire movies of all time. Certainly not the best Stephen King adaptation I've ever seen. But I am a huge Stephen King fan, even though Stephen King, as a human being, is a steaming pile of shit. I am a fan of his writing, which I had been a fan of his writing for 15 years before I found out he was a piece of shit. But
except for the in it, the child porn scene.
that
Child orgy.
well, yeah, in the book, yeah. It's a good movie. If you like vampire movies, I would say definitely watch Salem's Lot. You'll get a couple hours of enjoyment out of it. So
he is a awful human being in actual life.
oh yeah, Stephen King.
Yes.
Yeah. He's not a good person. Writes a hell of a story though, but he's not a good person.
One of my favorite movies is Christine.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think, and I know I've talked about this before, but the Dark Tower series, to me, is the best fictionalized universe ever. Like, I find the fictionalized universe he created around Dark Tower better than anything else, better than the Star Wars universe, better than the Star Trek universe, better than anything. It is my favorite fictionalized universe. I love it. I love those books. He's a piece of shit, but he created a really, really cool universe in all that. That's my favorite. That's my favorite book series of all time, is the Dark Tower novels. But yeah, like I said, this movie's it was good. It was good. Like, watch it if you want to watch a vampire movie.
Well, Samuel Tucker down here is like he said, the line, the Witch of the Wardrobe was a good book, but one of the worst movies ever made. He's ever seen.
I've never seen it. That's after my time. Like, maybe my kids have watched that movie. I don't know. I've heard of it. I know what it is. I've never read the book, and I've never watched the movie.
No,
I've seen it. It's not. It's sort of a fake. It's not a full faithful adaptation. Of course, it's not because it's from Hollywood. But it's pretty good. But it need to be longer, or at least a parter movies, because they could try to condense most of the book into one movie, like we were talking about with Dark Tower and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Now, one of the worst movies ever made is Battlefield Earth.
Yes,
I've watched that movie. I think I've watched it twice. The second time, I don't know why I watched it. I think I watched it the second time under the impression that it cannot be as bad as I remembered. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, fuck, it's even worse.
It's like you thought the first time you watched it was a fever dream.
Worse than I remember. You know what else that happened to me with was fucking Hulk. 2003 Ang Lee Hulk. Yeah. I saw that at the movies and thought, that was not good. And then I remember I avoided it for years, like over a decade. And then sometime in like the mid 2000s, I remember going back and rewatching it thinking, it cannot be as bad as I remembered. And then I went back and watched it and was like, holy fuck, that's way worse than I fucking remembered.
It's one of those things too, is like Ang Lee like did this like great Shaolin Hidden Dragon movie. It's like, and Hollywood's like, he did a blockbuster like action movie.
Yeah, you should do the Hulk. No, dude, you should never touch a superhero movie ever, bro.
he make everything like a comic book panel, and
which you know, in a good movie would have been kind of cool.
It was a cool
you understand like the concept of Hulk 2 is like, so every time the Hulk got angry, he got bigger.
Yeah,
I want people to understand he's getting stronger. Like, no, people know the Hulk. Hulk get angry, he gets strong.
Yeah,
you got that.
You don't need it. He was literally at one point, like what, 40, 50 feet tall when he's standing next to that tree and he's holding Betty in his hand like I'm holding a fucking action figure.
He was about as tall as that tree.
You're like, what the fuck?
His head was like the size of a hallway.
Like, no. And that was the thing too about it though, is like you could tell he had no respect for comic books or comic book characters. And he thought, well, I'll just throw some like fucking comic book panel things on the screen and fuck comic book fans. They'll be like, cool. Like you could tell he just didn't give a shit. But he got paid a lot of money to not give a shit, so I guess he don't care.
The only good thing about that whole movie was Sam Elliott cast as Joan Ross.
Yes. Well, and also what's her face? Jennifer Connelly was a good Betty.
Yes, I agree with that too.
And we lost JB. We lost JB. His wife's beating him, so he had to turn off his camera while he suffers spousal abuse. So
you're not allowed to mention Jennifer Connelly around them, so she beats him.
Another movie. I want to get through these movies because we're not going all fucking night. I watched the 4:30 movie. This is the new Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith is real fucking like he's like I love Kevin Smith's 90s movies. Love Kevin Smith's 90s. Big fan of Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Clerks and Dogma and love those fucking movies. However, since the 2000s, he's just like occasionally he has a decent movie, but it's not very often. And I don't really like him as a human being either. So, anyway, I watched the new 4:30 movie because it's basically it's very autobiographical in that it's basically about this kid in the 80s who likes a girl and is obsessed with movies.
Kevin Smith, his younger days, it was better. He became a full-on Hollywood sellout. So
yeah,
that's what hurt him.
Well, the movie is very apparent. The movie's a very simple concept. It's just kind of like a throwback story of like what it's like to be a kid obsessed with movies in the 80s who also likes a girl. So it's a very old school, it's a very 80s style movie. I thought it was pretty good. It is not great. It is one of the better movies that Kevin Smith has done in the last 20 years. I enjoyed it as a fan of everything 80s. It was cool because it was first of all, it was him not trying to just you know how he's got a certain style in a lot of his movies, which I loved from all those movies in the 90s, where it's just a lot of fast talking, a lot of dick jokes, a lot of, more complex comedic stories and things like that. But anyway, there was none of that in here. It was just like three friends trying to go to the movies, and they go to a movie so that they can sneak into a bunch of other movies throughout the day. And one of the main character is waiting for this girl that he finally asked out that morning to go to the movies with him that evening, and he's planning to stay at the movies and keep sneaking into movies until she shows up so he can go on a date with her. Pretty simple concept. And then, of course, things go wrong, and comedy ensues and things like that. But it's very much like a teen comedy kind of movie. I thought it was pretty good. It because it wasn't over the top, and because I felt like he wasn't trying so hard. I felt like he was just like, well, let me just make a simple little movie about a kid in the 80s, and it worked because he wasn't trying so hard to fucking just, let's do a Kevin Smith movie. And so I thought it was pretty good. So whether you do or don't like Kevin Smith, beside the point, it was a pretty good kind of throwback 80s movie.
Name of Held was saying Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was based on a series of books, and the movie was based on about the fourth book. So,
okay. I've only seen that movie one time. So.
You said you got stuff, Matt? Today?
What?
I like Cipher Light's comment at 9:56. It's like talking about Kevin Smith. He suffered from the same disease as a lot of comedic personalities. They store their funniness in their fat, and as they lose weight, they lose
Yep. Mark Hamill. Basically, no. You said you got some stuff today, Matt. Well, you was out.
We are not there yet, sir.
Calm. You can't.
Fucking hell! I still got 3 other movies to talk about.
Oh, well, I thought you wanted to take a break.
Like calm tits.
Next movie I watched was Saturday Night. Have y'all heard of this one?
Arms cutting off some circulation or something?
Mm-hmm. His wife beat him in the head too much. Can't think straight.
I've got the not to prove it, yeah.
So I watched Saturday Night. I don't know if anybody's heard of this. This is the not Ivan Reitman, Jason Reitman movie, Ivan Reitman's kid. Basically did a story about the hour before the first Saturday Night Live movie premieres. And he's basically recast all the people from that were in that first episode of Saturday Night Live. And it's just kind of it's not a documentary, obviously, but kind of a retelling of leading up to that first episode. And it was pretty good. I thought all the people that they got to play, like Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase and all these people, while they're getting ready for the first episode. And by the way, the movie ends right when the first episode starts. So it's an hour and 45-minute long movie, and it tells the story of the hour and 45 minutes before the first Saturday Night Live premiered live on television back in 1976. And they've got all the characters. They've got a guy playing Jim Belushi, who does a great job. The guy playing Dan Aykroyd does a great job. The guy playing Chevy Chase does a great job. All the people they get to come in and play these real people, I thought did a really good job. I grew up on Saturday Night Live, being a kid born in 77, and started watching Saturday Night Live back when it was good in the 80s. And I thought it was pretty good. I would not say it's a great movie or anything like that. I did like that. And this is obviously the way to go. They just did the movie in the style and comedy and even the drama that they added to it of the day, right? There was no, it would have been, I could see a lot of people adding some woke bullshit into this movie.
Well, that's, it wasn't, didn't have the woke stuff in it, but I remember I don't know, early 2000s when they tried to do that Three Stooges movie.
Yes.
Get the Stooges in modern era, it just don't work.
Yeah. This was very much like of the time, and it was like, this is what you would expect the Saturday Night Live set to have looked like and felt like, and how these people would have acted getting ready for the first show. And
that's what killed me with the 90s show that they did, like that series of like sequel to the 70s show.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that.
The show, they say the 90s show, but they act more like the early 2000s show because they don't act like the 90s whatsoever.
I've heard they threw some fucking woke shit in that show.
Yeah,
but I haven't watched it. I won't watch it. And I love that 70s show, but I've never. I have no interest in watching that 90s show. But I'll say, like, if you like Saturday Night Live, I will say when I was done with this movie, it made me want to go watch some old 70s and 80s Saturday Night Live. It got me pumped to go watch old Saturday Night Live. So take that for what you will. Like, again, not like a great movie that you must see, but it was fun. It was cool. I thought the actors they got did a really good job. Like, especially the dude they got to play, you know him. He's, what is his fucking name? The dude from... Well, he's from Teen Wolf, and he's from all the Maze Runner movies. What is that dude?
Oh, yeah. I know really you're talking about what's his name?
Why am I blanking on his name? He was just in another movie that we're about to talk about, and I cannot remember his fucking name for shit. But anyway, he played a perfect Dan Aykroyd.
Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien, thank you. He played a perfect, like, young Dan Aykroyd. And then the guy who played... The guy who played the Riddler in Gotham, the tall, skinny dude, played a perfect fucking Chevy Chase. He did great playing a young Chevy Chase. So they did a really good job. I enjoyed it. It is not the greatest movie ever, but if you're a fan of Saturday Night Live, it was definitely worth watching. And I appreciated that they did not throw any modern politics or any of that bullshit in this show.
Yeah.
They just kept it simple and just told a good fucking story. So it was worth watching. But speaking of Dylan O'Brien, he was in another movie, and I see G-Webs is out there in the chat going by an alternate name. What's up, G-Webs? You got to join these chats one of these days. But there's this movie called Caddo Lake. And I had seen a trailer for it a couple months ago, and I thought, that looks interesting. I don't know what it is, but it looks interesting. It showed up on the website, so I watched it day before yesterday. And I'm trying to think what I can say about this, because it very much is a show.
Oh, I've seen the trailer for that.
With a twist that I don't want to give away. It's very much like a long Twilight Zone episode. Now, that being said, like, there's a couple of weird things maybe that go on in the first half of the movie, but nothing that really stands out. It's just kind of telling this story about this small area, which I believe is in the Missouri and Arkansas area.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a couple different characters that they're focusing on their stories. Right. And
a girl disappears in Caddo Lake, the series.
Yeah. And a girl disappears, and then things start getting really weird. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? So I will say it's a little slow at the beginning. However, the second half like really kicks it up a notch. And it gets really good. And the twist is really good. And to G-Webs out there in the chat, because G-Webs and me both love that movie Predestination. And if you've seen the movie Predestination, it's not the same as Predestination. However, it is very trippy like that. It's very Predestination-esque in what the answer to this big mystery ends up being. And I don't know, have y'all ever seen Predestination? It's basically a time travel movie. I'll say that.
It sounds familiar.
It's a really good but trippy as fuck movie. And this is like that. It's a very trippy movie. Once you figure out what's going on, and you're like, oh wait, and this person and that, and then this, and they went there, and that means that person's there, and and then that's their kid, and then I'm trying not to spoil anything, but like once you go through it, it's really well done. It's not the most exciting movie, and like I said, the first half is pretty slow because it's not until like the girl disappears that things start really kicking up a notch, which is almost halfway through the movie. At the beginning, it's basically telling the story of the Dylan O'Brien character and this other chick who I fucking don't know who she is. She looks mildly familiar, so maybe I've seen her in something else. Mm-hmm. But it's mostly telling their stories and how neither one of them, like the Dylan O'Brien character, is obsessed with his mother's death and doesn't know how she died, and it's ruining his life, and it's ruining his relationship with the girl he's in love with. And then the other chick, it's telling her story of how, she's like, she's got this stepsister and her mother's remarried, and, she hates that her mother was remarried because she fucking misses her father, who disappeared when she was a baby and never to be seen again. And her mother won't talk about what happened. And it's telling this story of these two characters for like the first, 40 minutes of the movie. And then the girl disappears. And then things start kicking off. And you're like, oh, wait, what's going on? So, but it was good. If you like trippy movies with good twists, I would say watch it. I'd say definitely check it out. It's pretty cool. It's very interesting. And it's not formulaic at all. Like what the twist is not fucking like anything you've seen before, which is kind of why it reminds me of Predestination.
I really like Dylan O'Brien as an actor too. So
I like Dylan O'Brien too. I have said for many, many years, of course he's too old now, but I said for many, many years, if they ever did a Robotech movie, that dude is Rick Hunter.
Samuel, she is.
That was who we did, and I don't know if G-Web's out there in the chat remembers this. We did a thing long time ago, long before I had a Geek channel, where I did a whole thing on one of my Geek chats on the NEA channel, where I was like, who I would cast in a Robotech movie, and he was my fucking Rick Hunter. And I thought he would have made a great Rick Hunter. Of course, this was back when he was younger and he was doing like fucking the first Maze Runner movie and Teen Wolf and shit, and he still looked like a teenager because Rick Hunter in Robotech was supposed to be 17, 18 when that show started. Anyway, no, I like Dylan O'Brien. He's a good actor. But yeah, definitely go watch Caddo Lake if you like a good fucking, trippy movie with a good twist. That's an original twist that you're not going to see coming and you're not going to expect.
Yeah.
So,
Samuel, she is a Beagle Border Collie mix. Is what kind of dog she is. She comes in here once in a while, wants to be on stream. So, about 18 is what Name just said. It was about 18.
All right, I watched another movie, the new Lawrence Fishburne and Casey Affleck sci-fi movie called Slingshot.
Ooh, I haven't seen that yet.
A piece of shit. Don't watch it. It's awful.
Is it bad?
It's bad. It's really bad.
Ooh.
It's boring. The ending sucks. There's kind of a twist in it, but it's like a twist you saw coming halfway through the movie, so it's not that good of a twist. It's not good. I say pass. This is a very, very forgettable movie that nobody's going to give a shit about, that already nobody gives a shit about. But I watched it because I was curious, because I like sci-fi and I like Lawrence Fishburne, and it's got the French dude from The Boys in it as well. And so I was like, all right, cool, I'll watch it. Awful movie. Don't watch it.
Did you Fly Me to the Moon with Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, I did watch that. That was pretty good. I did watch that.
Because we watched that a few days ago. My wife said she loved it. So
yeah, I thought it was a good movie. It was good. Yeah, I liked it. It was a pretty simple throwback movie, but it was good. It was entertaining. I also watched that new Netflix movie, Uglies, which is It's a take on the. So I feel like the first thing about this, I feel like this movie should have come out around the time of like Maze Runner and Hunger Games and all those other movies, because that's basically what this is. It's one of these like teen dystopian movies it's made from a series of books, just like all those movies were. I feel like this movie is about 10 years too late. You know what I mean? But I can't say like that it's bad. Like, look, I've never really got into any of those movies, because you had what? You had Maze Runner movies. You had the I just said it. What was the whole
Hunger
Games movies? You had Maze Runner, Hunger Games. You had the detergent movies.
Detergent movies.
You had
just the name for those movies.
You had what was the one? What was it? The one where the kid gets sent to go train with Jeff Bridges as the like person that has all the knowledge while everybody else remains stupid. What was the name of that movie?
Lifestyle.
No, it's like it's this dystopian future where everybody is on these drugs all the time that keep them kind of calm and without emotion. But then one person in their society is always given the responsibility of like remembering
I know
everything.
what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of the movie.
I can't remember what the fucking name of the movie is.
Anyway,
it's another one of those teen dystopian movies. So this was very. Thank you, Litlace. The Giver. The Giver was the name of that movie.
Oh, okay.
So this movie, Uglies, was basically, it's one of those movies. It's a teen dystopian future fucking story that's pulled directly from a series of books. And I just feel like it was like 10 years, like they should have made this movie 10 years ago. That being said, it's as good as any of those. But to be honest, I'm not a big fan of any of those. The only one of those series that I actually liked was the Maze Runner movies. I thought those were good because they were more action oriented and they had like fucking zombies and shit in them. And it was a little, I don't know. The Maze Runner movies I thought were the best of all those fucking teen dystopian future movies that came out about 10 years ago. But this definitely falls in line with all those. I watched it because I was bored. It's not the type of movie I would normally watch. By the way, this thing is never getting a fucking sequel. So, I mean, there's really no reason to watch it. It's okay if you like those types of movies. So if you were a fan of Hunger Games and all those things, sure, go ahead and watch it. But just know that it's going to end on a cliffhanger and it's never getting a fucking sequel. Sorry, it's not ever getting a fucking sequel.
Oh, it's The Giver?
No, the Uglies, the one I'm talking about, the new one on Netflix.
Sorry, they all run together to me.
They all run together, and I don't blame you. Look, again, this movie is not something you need to watch. It was okay at best. It's really only the kind of movie that if you're into those teen dystopian stories, that you might like it. I don't know. It wasn't horribly done, but
it's got 4.7.
It's just really not my thing. I don't even, like I said, I only watched it because I was bored and there was nothing else on. So
got the
it's like, I don't know. I cannot recommend it to this audience, knowing most of the people out there. Most of you are not going to like it, which is fine. I wouldn't expect you to.
Like you go look at imagine teen dystopian movie when you go look it up, and that's what it looks like. They're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. Like I said, this movie was made 10 years too late. Had this movie come out 10 years ago when all those other movies were coming out, it might have been more popular. But
you know what's funny? It's like all these movies, all they're doing is redoing Logan's Run.
Mm-hmm. Basically. Which, by the way, I fucking love the original Logan's Run. That's a movie I watch. I don't want to say often. I've watched that movie at least 20 times in my lifetime, which means I've probably watched it on average once every 2 to 3 years. And I really like that movie a lot. And I hope that someday it gets a good remake. Let me specify good remake, because I think it is a story that could benefit from being updated.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really is. because the concept is great, and I love that original movie. I even watched the Logan's Run series that came out back in the late 70s because they reran it on when I was a kid in the 80s.
Yep.
It's a really good story. I would love to see them redo Logan's Run and come out with a new, well done fucking update to that story.
And a lot of what Logan's Run actually still holds up, like to like modern society. Actually, probably more so now.
Yep. No, I agree. It is a story that holds up really, really well. It is very, very relevant.
Some of the effects and stuff like that, of course, don't. But the story holds up.
Yeah. But I still love that. I love that movie. I love that movie also because growing up where I grew up, they shot half that movie in Dallas and Fort Worth, and so half that movie I recognize. Like that the whole city that they're in is a mall in Fort Worth, Texas, and the big scene. There's the big scene where they're around what looks like a lot of stone steps with water running through them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Water Gardens in Fort Worth. So growing up, I know those places. Like I know where they shot that fucking movie. They shot half of it on a set in Los Angeles and half of it in DFW. And so growing up, every time I watch that movie, I'm like, I've been there, which is cool, So, but anyway, I love that movie. It's a fucking great movie.
I need to share my screen on that.
What do we got here?
The miniature, man.
That miniature is so fucking well done.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic, and it's huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. Yeah, look at the. I mean, it's man,
like adult men right there sitting in the middle of it.
Like I need to get some Marvel Legends in there.
Yeah,
that's the diorama right there, man.
No, that's what I'll just have a big scene. I'll take all my figures right here.
Get all my 3 3/4 inch Joes and Star Wars in there.
You know, but it is pretty close to 3 3/4 inch scale.
Yeah, it'd be fucking great, man. But okay, so that's all the movies I have. I do just want to cover 2 quick things.
And Logan Run even had Tinder and stuff like that, where they like hook up and things, where they scrolling through.
Oh yeah,
people to hook up with.
Mm-hmm. So I finally rewatched. I've been talking about doing it forever. I finally rewatched all 10 seasons of Stargate SG-1. It took me about 3 weeks to do, 3 or 4 weeks. I can't remember. It took me a while. And that's basically most of what I watched for like 3 or 4 weeks in my spare time. 10 seasons, fucking long show. But goddamn, is it one of the best sci-fi shows ever. Stargate SG-1.
It sounds like they're finally going to go through with getting a new series.
I hope so, man. And Stargate needs to continue. It is a great universe for stories. And I like all 3 Stargate shows. I love all 3 Stargate shows. They're all 3 fantastic. I know a lot of people didn't really click with Stargate Universe. I did. I thought it was fantastic.
I think if they expanded like with the story where they could have more stories with other cast members. Mm-hmm. They were focusing on some of the characters, cast members. Like some of them were really good. Others, like, I don't care about the senator's daughter. I want to know how the military people are dealing with things. Like I know, but I'm sure they probably didn't do that mainly because that's what SG-1 is.
Yeah, it's such a good universe to tell stories in, and just the way they've laid it out with the Stargates and the Ancients and the Gould and the Ori and I mean just all these characters and alien races and what's even the politics of what's going on in the galaxy and multiple galaxies and with the Asgard and everything else. Like it's just such a good universe to tell stories. And SG-1 is
the only thing that about the entire thing, like with I like Atlantis, except for I never got the race being a threat enough to kill the ancients.
Well, I mean, there was 2 things that killed off the ancients. There was the Wraith, who were a threat to the ancients in the Pegasus galaxy after they moved from the Milky Way to the Pegasus galaxy. But the threat to them in the Milky Way galaxy was that disease that killed them, which is what got them to ascend. The ones that escaped in Atlantis and made it to the Pegasus galaxy and started spreading out there, they were much smaller group of ancients that they were the ones that had the problem with
Atlantis, though, would just decimate the actual, like, the wraiths.
Yeah. No, yeah. If the other ancients hadn't already died from the disease that killed them all off, then the wraith would have been no fucking problem. Because the ancients were way more powerful than the wraith, but most of them, the only ones that got away were the ones that escaped on Atlantis.
Of course, then
they
brought back the ancients that ones that were like a FTL drive was messed up and they were traveling at light speed, and they brought those in, and they mostly got they got wiped out by the wraith.
Yeah. Kellen says, "Aren't the ancients basically the humans' ancestors, though?" Yeah, they are. They were just from millions of years ago, so they were highly advanced. I mean, their technology was highly advanced.
One thing what they could do too, like they thought about it too, work in the virus. The survivors lost like mental capacity or something like that.
Yeah,
de-evolved into humans.
Yeah.
Would you quit, little turd?
Nah.
I'll tell you what my wife did show me yesterday.
Her titties?
No. Well.
Okay. Sorry. Well,
no.
Maybe tonight.
I woke up to that this morning, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That was a great way to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Best part of waking up is
titties in your face. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, JB.
Did y'all see about Elon Musk revealing about his new
oh, here you go.
Teslas?
Man, the tapping when she's young?
No, I don't. I honestly don't pay much attention to Elon Musk, so no. Or Teslas. I don't.
Oh, the Optimus?
Yes. Also the self-drive taxis that he's doing. Where you don't have to it doesn't have a steering wheel. These taxis, basically, you punch a screen where you want to go and it takes you.
Okay. Well, I mean, we knew it was going that way anyway, so.
Yeah.
I mean.
My wife just mentioned that today. She mentioned that.
I did hear about the Optimus, the robot, the fucking bartender robots.
Yeah.
I did hear about that, yeah.
I thought it was funny. I saw a clip, and the one clip was guys playing rock, paper, scissors with one. And instead of doing scissors, he did the middle finger. He's like, yeah. For scissors. My wife got a kick out of it. Anyway, Stargate.
I always liked the actor that played General Hammond, too. It's like,
oh, yeah, Hammond's great. Dude, that's such a great cast for those characters. Like, all of them are perfectly cast.
The original movie, it's like, it was like, they took concepts out of the original movie and made such a better series.
And I like that they didn't dismiss the movie or try to redo the movie. They said, this is a continuation. And
let's take it where the aliens are.
Yeah. Let's extrapolate where these characters would be, and let's take the same characters but just kind of move it forward, because the original movie still holds up. The original movie is still fantastic. And I like that, because a lot of series, what they do is they try to retell the movie when they try to spin off from a movie. And they didn't do that. They're just like, no, the movie happened. We're starting after the movie, and everything that happened in the movie happened exactly like it happened in the movie, to the point that it affected the story. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. It affected all the characters. I love the episode where O'Neill deals with his son's death and what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the best episodes of Stargate.
Well, it starts out like when Neil went back, he told Neil Jackson died, so he ended up doing all that. And
yeah, and it was so well done. It's it's one of the greatest sci-fi series of all time, in my opinion. But really, really well done. Glad I finally rewatched it. I've been meaning to rewatch it for years, but it was just so fucking overwhelming. It's like, fuck, dude. 10 seasons, 10, 22 episode seasons of an hour-long show. That's going to take me fucking forever. So I kept putting it off, but finally did it.
I wish it could have stayed on Showtime a little longer with a bigger budget.
Yeah.
With sci-fi.
It was on Showtime for what, 2 seasons? The first 2, I think?
I think 2.
Yeah.
2 or 3. I can't remember.
But really well done show. Very, 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 very glad I rewatched it. The other show that I'm currently rewatching, just to give everybody a heads up, and then once I'm finished with it, we'll talk about it on the show. Because I never finished it the first time. I watched the first 4 seasons when they were on, but I never watched season 5 and 6. So I've never finished the series. But I'm rewatching Grimm, which
5 seasons on Showtime.
I loved the first 4 seasons of Grimm. I thought it was a great show, and I'm rewatching it and loving it all over again. I'm looking forward to finally seeing how the show ends because I never saw the last 2 seasons. But that is my current rewatch at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm done with that, which will probably be a couple weeks, we'll talk about it on the show.
SG1 was on for 5 seasons on Showtime.
5 seasons? Jesus Christ. Okay. Wow, that's way longer than I thought. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, cool.
But yeah, we're on sci-fi, so
I'm really enjoying Grimm. I've already buzzed through the first season. I'm on like episode 5 of season 2 right now. And show's really good. It's a little bit like if you took Supernatural and mixed it with a police drama, is kind of basically what Grimm is. Which is good. It works. It works really well. So, but we'll talk about that whenever I finish it. Damn it. That's it. That's all I got. I've now talked about everything. Y'all want to see what I got today?
Yeah. JB definitely does.
Yeah, I know. So I went to Ollie's.
I hear some squeak in the background. Is that you, Jared?
I went to Ollie's and I found this.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So found this at Ollie's. Nice. Was able to pick that up. Hadn't gotten it yet.
Did you make sure everything was in there?
No, I did not. I just grabbed one off the shelf. Then I went to Target to get to enjoy the last day of their Circle sale. And I got 2 things. I got this.
Nice. Did you go on the press match or did you do store pickup?
Yeah. And they had one of these. They had the Halo jumper.
Oh, I looked at those. I was very tempted to get that.
I love the camo on this dude.
Yeah.
This dude looks. Let me see if I can turn a light on because I don't have all my lights on in my.
I was going to make you like solo.
Nah,
I don't have control.
It's not anyway. The camo on this dude. I don't have all my lights on, so you can't really see all the different shades and stuff. But, he's really well done. And he's got the camo face and all the fucking Halo gear and everything. And this is the best one that I have seen. They've only done, 3 of them? Of these kind of more realistic whatever. Because they did the dude in the Navy SEAL dive suit. Then they did a dude in the camo. And then they've done this dude. And I know they're doing like a chick sniper at some point or something like that. But, yeah, this dude is the best looking one I've seen so far. I saw him and I was like, oh, dude, that dude looks great.
What's its original retail price?
$35.
35. I might go pick it up maybe Monday or Tuesday.
They had him and they had the Navy SEAL diver, which I don't really care about.
Yeah. I looked at that one when I was picking up some figures on the Target Circle.
Yeah.
And I got the Road Pig instead, and I got the Vim.
Uh-oh.
Sounds rough over there.
But yeah, he looks fucking sweet. He looks great. So yeah, that's what I picked up today. Me and my wife and the kids went out and we had to run some errands and stuff. And so we hit up.
I had this one. I forgot to show this one off.
You got it. Nice.
And it looks really good.
You go.
I wish they did it in glow in the dark plastic though. Anytime they do anything in light green, I wish it's glow in the dark. Girls, quit. I love how Mattel does.
Stop it.
I love how Mattel does their collector packaging.
Those girls are fighting. They're fighting for you, Jerry. They want your attention. Believe me.
Casey absolutely hates the puppy.
Yeah. I've had girls fight over me too. So yeah,
don't lie. Don't fucking lie. Why not tell your wife you said that?
You won't care. Like, I've had girls fight over me.
Well, what I was trying to say before I was really interrupt, Casey. I like how they do their card backs. They got the slip covers where you can actually just slide them up. And put them
I have found her, and he's still in his box. Like, I took him out maybe once, but packaging.
They don't even tape them, so you can just slide them out, put them back in.
Yeah, I love that package. I wish they do it for all their retail figures.
Like,
No, but then everybody would steal the shit. They can't do it at retail.
That's true, but I mean, like if you just kept
it would be cool if people could be trusted not to steal shit. Then yes, it would be cool.
Okay, speaking of that, I saw somebody actually post this on not on the Toy Tubers page, but like on Twitter or X. Their Walmart has completely glass seal case full of Lego sets.
No,
like people have been stealing Lego sets, so they finally sealed them off with a glass case.
now they could do these at retail and just add the tape and seal it.
Mute your phone. Deal with them.
I'm gonna put one of them outside. I'll be
Girls, you're both pretty. So that's what you're supposed to say, right?
Yeah. You're supposed to be like, ladies, you're both beautiful. Now, can you please stop? There's plenty of me to go around.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got 3 of them, so you got 3 girls. I mean,
I got 3 girls, yes, and a wife. And I got 3 girls. I got a wife. I got a female cat and 2 female dogs.
Oh, good grief!
You're surrounded by women. I am surrounded by women.
You're like that song, like trying to hold 2 women.
And then it's just me and my son. It's just me and my son in the house.
Well, you're lucky. I got 2 girls here and no son or anything with me. So you lucky.
Okay, they're outside.
Got to put the women outside when they act up.
Yeah, that's what everybody needs to do.
Put your women outside.
Calm down and stick them outside.
Is it your time of the month, woman? You need to calm down. Come on now. Anyway.
You just tell them to shut up and calm down.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got nothing else. We got anything else out there? I can read the chat now for anybody that's wondering. If you've got any questions out there in the chat, I can actually read. My migraine went away.
I see your comments. If one of those girls' name was Ralph Disney, no. My wife and the female dog that's been on stream. Those 2.
Oh, those are the 2 women that fought over you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Middle fingers. There you go.
But I'm caught up on Vox Machina, which is a entertaining series. It's like
I keep meaning to watch it because I've heard it's good, but I've never watched it.
It's a funny take on like a D&D show, but it's got it's good animation, good action.
I've heard good things, but I've never checked it out.
It's got some woke stuff in it, but it's still entertaining though.
What does it nowadays?
Everything's woke in it. What do we expect? But our job these days to still always find the enjoyment out of something, even if it has woke politics in it. Got to find the joy in it, at least.
But it's pretty good show.
Mm-hmm. I mean, take Lightyear.
I finished watching the final, the Grand Tour, their very last episode, and definitely done really well. It's like you get a little bit of, if you enjoyed the original Top Gear, like with the original trio, and it ends with a good little thing, like nod to the original big journey.
Now, there was one movie I just remember I did go back and watch, Lightyear. Me and the wife went back and watched Lightyear again. I have the poster from the theater, and it's not bad. Lightyear is actually pretty good. It's not.
I didn't hate the movie. It was, a very different take on Buzz Lightyear, but I didn't hate the movie.
No, I didn't hate it neither.
People were making a big deal about that one fucking kiss in the movie, and I'm like, that okay. Well, I guess if you're,
I think it was more blown up by the fact that we're by the one side than the other. Oh, they just hated it because of the lesbian kiss.
Yeah, which is not like wasn't even a big deal.
It's the same people screaming like, well, people don't like Joker 2 because of Lady Gaga.
Yeah, it's like no, that's not why.
She
Hey, look, I understand why the movie didn't make a lot of money. It was okay. I enjoyed it, but I totally understand why a lot of people just passed on it completely because there's really nothing that stands out about it. To be honest, like it was okay.
I mean, I think more people would have been forgiven if they did have Tim Allen as Lightyear. But I see why you would not cast him as because you're doing the real life person Buzz Lightyear, not the toy. But it still doesn't make sense because where do they get the voice from for Buzz Lightyear the toy if it's based on that Buzz of the movie?
Well, the idea, so for people, not that it fucking matters, but the idea was that, okay, what Lightyear is it is a movie that was released in the universe of Toy Story based on the toy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a movie about a toy. So the toy was first. The toy was first, and then they made a movie about the toy. That's the premise.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just clarifying, that's all. It really doesn't matter. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Which, if you want a more true to two, like Buzz Lightyear, just watch the animated series.
And it's on Disney Plus. They have not put that on Disney Plus yet, which surprises me.
It's because they're idiots.
Yeah, they don't put the good stuff on there.
They're basically doubling the price almost too on Disney Plus.
If I'm gonna have to pay double what I pay already for a subscription, I want to watch.
Are you actually paying?
I am paying, yes.
Remember, he doesn't have a computer, so he can't watch the website.
I pay for Disney Plus. I'm gonna cancel. Probably will. I'll probably be canceling it later.
They already increased the rate.
I paid for Disney Plus for the first 2 years.
Or they're doing this month.
When I was paying by year, so I was only paying $60 a year for the first 2 years, and I paid once a year. I paid for the first 2 years, and then I canceled it.
I'm doing Disney Plus until my subscription expires. Then when it does this month, I'm done. Because I've got Peacock still, and I can watch better shows on Peacock and Amazon and everything than I can Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So, plus I like even because I like watching like Spider-Man the animated series. The '90s cartoon. I like.
It's going to be $160 a year for Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
There when it started, which was not that long ago, I was paying $60 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy.
Yep.
So,
and they're not making good stuff. So what's the point of even paying?
Yeah, Sit for Life. I have the Brave app. I use that to watch the movies we talk about. I have that, and you got Lightyear on the Buzz Lightyear movie on VHS. I do too. To everybody's surprise, I still have my VHS.
Still have a VCR and blank VHS tapes. So I can hook things up if I want to and record.
I know. I just like
that's really the reason why they hated VHS so much, because people could actually just record TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm. Yeah.
They don't. They want that motto. You will own nothing and be happy about it.
Yeah.
But look, most places are getting rid of physical media. Best Buy don't carry movies no more.
It sucks. Physical media should still be a thing because I do remember.
You got idiots out there like sucking off like the corporate media is like, oh, wanting physical media is just a toxic masculine trait.
Physical media is the best thing because when you pay online, they can take it down. Because I have a buddy who bought no telling how many movies and television shows. I think he bought like 28 movies on his PlayStation. They got taken down all at once, and he never got a refund. His total that he paid for all of them was almost $200 in total, and he never got his money back for it.
I like Calhoun's comment here. Transfer your YouTube videos on the VHS and put them in a time capsule to confuse some people in the future.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when he told me all of his movies got taken down and he spent about $200, I said, "Man, I feel sorry for you." But I also said, "I told you so." This is why
I've been on the phone with them every freaking day until I got some money back.
Yeah, but
I'll be their worst nightmare. I was like, I'll be calling from like every phone number I can get, and it's like, "Hey, money, or I'm coming to see you."
this is why I stick with physical media, and I always buy a DVD of a movie that I like or a television show so I can have it.
I will find you. You owe me money.
Find you, and I will kill you.
I will find you, and I will.
Oh, I won't kill them. You can't pay me if I kill them. I can hurt them real good.
Just waterboard them or something.
Dead man can't pay you back. So that's what these movies, these police officers always like go to like the loan shark. It's like, "Oh, did you kill him? How am I going to get my money back if I kill him? I'm going to hurt him." But
Here's a good
legs to break his fingers, but
this is a good comment right here. Physical media is also great when Storm takes out utilities.
yeah,
I have a generator I can run to watch DVDs. Yeah.
yep.
PlayStation Network people are probably in Japan.
Yeah.
Probably. Let's see what else. Yeah, there's the one about Japan. That's what I got. Let's see.
Hey,
DVDs or Blu-rays? Name is what's asking us. What do we prefer?
if you start looking at real estate in Japan, it gets very tempting.
Mm.
You look at real estate near the lake, near the ocean and the beaches. It's cheap. You get a 3,000 square foot home for like $30,000.
Didn't Todd use that as excuse? Oh, people in Japan, they don't have enough storage space, so we do NFTs.
Yes, that's what he said in an interview.
Yeah.
Like, no, sir, that is a horrible fucking excuse.
Hey, Todd, it's all about perspective. It's hard. It's about perspective. When it's closer, they look bigger. Woo!
Yeah, but Name is asking us, do we prefer DVDs or Blu-rays? Okay.
I mean, Blu-ray is better. I mean, that's just the fact.
Okay. Blu-ray.
Blu-ray's better than you got like a HD format too.
Yes. Blu-ray, I do like DVDs because the menus usually are creative, or at least menus back in the day used to be very creative.
Hey, the some like DVDs had some really good creative ones. The Shaun of the Dead DVD, love that DVD. It's got a lot of like extra content on it.
I'll tell you,
you know what started like the entire thing, like behind the scenes stuff? Full Moon Entertainment on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
After you watched the movie, they had like behind the scenes, how they make the movies, and like a lot of times that was better than the movie on those Full Moon movies.
Yeah, I'll tell you another. I remember two menus that were very creative on DVD. One was the awful Cat in the Hat Mike Myers movie. That one would run you would be on that menu for at least about an hour looking through everything. They had a lot of stuff on that one to run through. And then the other one that a lot of people like to mention is Shrek 2. That menu is pretty nice for Shrek 2, the movie on DVD. But nowadays, when you look at some Blu-rays, the menu's just pretty bland. It's like, oh, here's play, scenes.
Stiff for Life, I do remember the competition for Blu-ray, the HD. This time, what was nice, the Blu-ray won over the better media won over the inferior one. Back in the day when it was VHS versus Betamax, the inferior one won because the porn industry got VHS first.
Okay, I gotta tell this funny story. This was like 5 years ago. We were doing like a charity work, for congregation stuff. We were doing a charity work. This lady was trying to move out of her house. It was an older lady. Funny thing is, while she was cleaning her house, do you know what I happened to find?
Which porn?
Yes. At least 10, I'm not kidding, 10 VHS tapes recorded of porn galore. Gays, lesbians, straight, everything.
Did she have some homemade ones in there too?
No.
Did you take them all out?
How did you know what was on them if you didn't watch?
Because she had them labeled. She had them
make sure she may have done that to trick people.
No, they were like in her closet.
Well,
I clean out her closet.
You
So
got some stuff you don't want to see back in the day. You write gay porn on it, nobody's gonna turn that video on.
Mm-hmm.
but no, I'm like, man, this lady must have a lot of energy at her
Well, if
age.
it had some like Plastic Man porn on there, you might have turned that off.
She was probably a serial killer and hiding what she was doing. Just listed it as gay porn so nobody would watch it.
Yeah.
That was all her torture tapes. You could have found a serial killer and you just couldn't.
Yep.
Didn't want to risk gay porn on it.
Yeah.
You could have found had closure for all those families, all those people she killed.
Yeah, but you didn't want to check, did you? Didn't want to go the extra mile.
Probably should have.
See how it is.
Somebody, let's see here. Let's see.
Crossing the streams.
There was you ever play with secret codes on Revenge of the Sith DVD? No, I have not, but
there you go. AK is like label it as gay porn or Aquaman 2 and nobody will watch it.
but I did get the Revenge of the Sith Episode 3 video game this week. So I haven't played it yet. I'm going to be tomorrow. Hopefully I will. Because right now I'm playing the new Dragon Ball Sparking Zero game. So, and there is a lot to do on it. So, but no, I personally like Revenge of the Sith. It's one of my favorite Star Wars films. Matt will disagree with me on that, but
I like Revenge of the Sith.
okay.
Revenge of the Sith is a good movie.
Okay. All right. It's the
much as I like Puppet Master and never got any of the NECA figures of the puppets. I just thought it was weird. They made them like half size and did them in 2-packs. They were like 4-inch tall. Do you ever see those?
Yeah, the NECA ones? Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah. I just thought it was weird they made them so small. Like I know they're supposed to be puppet. Just make them full size like NECA figures. But actually, they would kind of look cool on the shelf if you had like a 7-inch tall like puppets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you punch 1138 on the Revenge of the Sith DVD, you get a special music video. I might need to try that. I have the DVD Revenge of the Sith. I have it. I might need to try that.
I got the Revenge of the Sith DVD somewhere buried in my garage.
Yeah. Has anybody figured out how to hook up a VHS player to a new TV? I tried it and it didn't work. Do I need some sort of analog to digitally convert?
Yes, they make converters. You can buy them on Amazon, depending on how your VCR needs to plug in, which is probably composite
AV
video. You can get a composite to HDMI converter. You can get those. You can get composite to HDMI. It'll have the 3 plugs on one side and HDMI on the other, and it's just a little converter. They're like, I've seen them before. They're like $10-15 on Amazon. But yeah, that's what you want. If your VHS plugs in composite, which most do. Of course, later VCRs towards the end of the VCR era in like the 2000s started going component video. So you might, depending on when you bought the VCR, how old it is, it's either going to be composite or component plugs. So the difference is composite is the 3 plugs, the red, white, yellow for right, left, and sound. Component is the red, blue, green, which is just the video. And then you would have a separate cord for sound. So figure out, is it composite or component?
I have
composite is typically called RCA plugs. So if it's composite, it's those RCA plugs, the red, white, yellow for right, red, white, yellow is right, left, and then not right, left sound. It's right, left, picture. So picture is yellow, red and white are right and left stereo sound.
I got those, and I got the one that's VHS and DVD combination. I got that one too.
Yeah,
which is pretty neat because you can have both the VHS and a DVD both, and you can switch between them. Which at the time when I got that, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got one in our bedroom because my wife's got the Wii hooked up to our TV in our bedroom because she likes to play Wii sometimes still. And the Wii was the old school plugs, so we had to buy one of those converters to hook it up.
probably already know this. If you share my screen, there's a little Easter egg for O'Reilly's. You type
Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find a flux capacitor.
Just we need to be clear. Is it a working flux capacitor?
Well, it's out of stock, so you're.
Oh, okay. Because like if it's a working flux capacitor, I can
Well,
put
it's like
it
a 1.21 gigawatts plutonium. Works at 88 miles per hour. Modification for time travel.
If that was actually a real thing, that'd be
Travel time and your own risk. Plutonium's required.
By the way, just so everybody knows, it's always out of stock because it's not real.
No, it's real. They got it for sale here.
I know it always shows out of stock because they don't actually sell it. But
it'd be pretty cool if they did. Imagine you go back in time to your past.
You can buy those little ones that plug into your fucking cigarette lighter. You can buy ones. They just light up. I think they've got one that's a USB adapter. So you plug it into your cigarette lighter and it's got USB plugs on the side, but it just looks like a little fucking flux capacitor that sits there in your dash. You can buy ones that actually do something. So they're out there. But
Sif says Blade HQ has a lightsaber knife as well.
Oh, that's cool. Is it real? Does it work?
Just drop it straight down. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for today. I think we're gonna get out of here. I am gonna go watch some. I'm watching this new show called Sweet Pea with my wife, which is basically about a serial killer, and it's pretty good. It's like one of these shows you watch. It's about a serial killer that you're rooting for the serial killer.
Oh, did you finish Sweet Home?
No, I never did.
It's done. They're not going to do anything more than
Yeah, no, they finished with season 3. I've never finished it. I've only ever watched the first season and the first couple episodes of the second season. I never finished watching it, and I don't want to pay for Netflix to finish watching it.
It's on the website.
It's on the website undubbed, and I don't want to read my fucking.
Really?
Yeah, it's not dubbed on the website.
Still
You have to put English subtitles, and that's a show that's very visual. I don't want to have to read what it's saying.
Yeah.
Still got to watch the one movie we was talking about this week. The one we was talking about that has Evil Dead vibes to it. Still got to watch that one.
Yeah, I gotta watch. Yeah, I gotta watch Hellboy. I'll watch Hellboy sometime this week.
It's really good. I finished watching before we did the show tonight. So.
Yeah, I got lazy today and I didn't watch it. So, but we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. We will see you guys. We'll be back on Monday on the NEA channel. We got the G&G podcast. We'll be back for that. Otherwise, we'll be back on Geek Fusion on Friday with Last Action Figure Heroes, and that is it. So, I just realized my music's been off for like an hour.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
Who cares? Anyway, all right, guys. We'll see you later. Deuces, yo, all that good stuff, and I don't know. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or some shit. All right. So, I guess later.